2. And we would like to call the Wayne County Commission meeting to order at 10:02 on October 7th. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Each member is acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom and that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Commissioner Anderson,
Present.
Commissioner Basham,
Here.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Here.
Commissioner Dahl,
Here.
Commissioner Hattis,
Present.
Commissioner Kaleem,
Here.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Present.
Commissioner Knizik,
Here.
Commissioner Marecki,
Here.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Here.
Commissioner Scott,
Present.
Commissioner Varga,
Here.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Here.
Vice Chair Palomera has requested an excuse. Chair Bell,
Here.
you have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Invocation.
Okay, if we can roll up the agenda, please. Thank you. Today's invocation will be by Commissioner Glenn Anderson. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let us pray. Glorious God, you promised to open doors of blessing and abundance for your people. We ask that you would work mightily in us today. Come upon us and cause us to have a productive meeting. Lead each one of us so we can make fruitful contributions at this time. Enable us to think and strategize in ways that will achieve great results. Purify our thoughts and motives so that each one of us will enter this meeting desiring the good of others and the pleasure of your name. Let us keep in mind and in our prayers those who are struggling, those first responders who keep us safe, those that work long hours in our hospitals caring for our people, and those around the world who are protecting our freedom. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. We appreciate that prayer for us this morning. Next item, please.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun.
Move for approval.
Support.
There's support, supported by Commissioner Anderson. Any changes or corrections to the journal? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
Report from the chair.
Thank you. A couple of things. One, we want to keep Commissioner Vice Chair Joey Palomera in our prayers today. He's at the funeral for his dear aunt. So we want to keep him and his family in our prayers today. Also, I would like to inform all of the commissioners that, we have very good, talented employees on the Wayne County Commission. They work so hard and we cherish each one of them. Unfortunately, we are losing 2 of them for greener pastures. One is Doletta Tooks, who's in Felicia's shop, paralegal. Her last day will be tomorrow. And then, as you know, for the last 18 years, Mr. Julian Rainwater worked in our policy and analysis area, and he too will be leaving that department. So we want to wish them well in their new endeavors and thank them for their hard work and their service for the many years. So I just wanted to let everyone know that.
All right, thank you.
All right. Next item, please.
Unfinished business, there is none listed. We're moving to page 2 of the agenda, offering of all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There are 3 items listed. Item number 1 is a resolution by Commissioner Bell proclaiming October 2021 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Thank you so much. As you know, last weekend there was the Susan D. Komen Breast March. It was last Saturday. There are going to be several march for breast cancer awareness and research throughout the month of October, as it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I think it's always important to emphasize that every year. And after I move it, I will open the board for co-sponsors. So I'd like to move approval of this resolution.
Support.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. We'll do a voice roll call. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain? Okay,
Motion
and
carries.
thank you. And there's a motion now to open the board for co-sponsors. If you'd like to be a co-sponsor, raise your hand either on Zoom or just do like this, and the clerk will note everyone's hands.
Well, let me see. I'm trying to find it.
Just raise your hand.
Just raise your hand. Do like
Connect it
this.
to your wrist.
You got it?
So it
I
looks like that's everyone, Commissioner.
Very good. Thank you all so much for co-sponsoring this very important
Please
Breast
add me,
Cancer Awareness Month
Madam
resolution.
Chair, please add me as well.
And all commissioners will be co-sponsors. Thank
Right.
you. Okay, thank you all so much. Next item.
Item number 2 is a resolution by Commissioner Bell supporting the enactment of House Bill 5026 to ensure continued operation and funding of the 911 service system throughout Wayne County.
Okay, every couple of years or so, we do a resolution making sure that we have a financially sustainable 911 system throughout Wayne County. This is the resolution to support this bill on today. I believe there's someone on the line who can speak to this. Mr. Marecki, is someone on the line to speak to this?
Yes, Jordan Selleck is at our meeting and she can speak to this.
Jordan, if you're available.
Yes, thank you, Chairwoman. I very much appreciate you bringing this up today. My name is Jordan Selleck. I'm the 911 coordinator for Western Wayne County. There's 4 service districts in Wayne County that run 911. Western Wayne, Eastern Wayne, Downriver, and the city of Detroit and Hamtramck. Some of you will remember I came in front of you back in 2018 when we were looking at changing our old copper 911 system over to a fiber emergency services dedicated network for 911. And at that time, we were seeking approval from the state to raise the state 911 fee on telephone services. So on landlines and on cellular telephones. And then there's also a prepaid fee for people who purchase their prepaid cards or cell phones, either in a retail store or online. Excuse me. So at that time, we had projected what we thought the revenue would be coming in for those 3 sources: the landline, the contractual cell phones, the ones in which you get a bill for, and then those prepaid phones, either retail or online. The good news is that the build out of the network, the emergency services IP network, has come in exactly as the costs were projected. Western Wayne County is almost done. Downriver is almost done. Eastern Wayne is almost done. The city of Detroit is still in the planning process and determining who they would like to be their provider. At this time, there is one provider statewide. It's been Peninsula Fiber Network, but every county has put forth their own RFP. So it is not quote unquote a state system. Every county has just gone with Peninsula Fiber Network. So right now they are our state next generation 911 provider. Our revenue came in for the landline telephones and the contractual billable wireless telephones because those actually have addresses attached to them. So we can determine how many customers there are out there. Their bills are paid every month. So the fee on each device is paid every month. The prepaid revenue came in about $1.3 million short a quarter going back to 2018. So that has left us in a hole to pay for this network. If these fees weren't here and they weren't paying for this network, which is $24 million a year statewide, would be being paid for by the locals, either at the county level or the local dispatch center level. So this has been really important because 911 has always been paid for by the consumer going back to 1986. It's never been paid for any other way. So there's a little bit of a caveat to this year. As many of you probably know, the state has a big influx of revenue. They are $3.2 billion higher in sales tax revenue than anticipated, and then also with the ARP funding coming in. So the original plan of raising fees on both the contractual customers and the prepaid, they were not in favor of that, and because they had so much money, which is fine. So what they did instead is they appropriated $16 million to the network, which will go in its own, it's called an emergency 911 fund that's kept with the Department of Treasury. And that's how the network is paid. So they gave us the $16 million in the budget that was just signed by the governor last week. To go along with that, though, we need this bill, House Bill 5026, passed, because that's the vehicle bill that actually allows us to receive that $16 million and to spend it on the 911 network. But there's one other thing that we need with that, just to make sure that ongoing funding is sustainable and we're able to maintain the network going forward. We need a 1% increase on those prepaid customers. Right now, they pay 5% of their total sale or the total transaction at the point of sale. So if, for instance, my kids are on prepaid through online and their telephone bills are about $7 a month. So I pay 5% of that $7 per device that we have. That is not very much, you can imagine. And when we did the original calculations back in 2018, the national average per transaction for prepaid was about $32. And that's just dramatically decreased over the last few years. And most of it is because of those online sales. So the 1% would bring more parity to all the customers, the landline, the contractual, and the prepaid, but would also provide us with some sustainability going forward to make sure that we can not only backfill the hole with the $16 million, but also continue to fund the network going forward. So this does not fall either on the county or the local governments. I'm happy to get into more detail. I don't want to overdo it and confuse you. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to take them. The Committee on Communications and Technology in the House yesterday did adopt this substitute. They took testimony yesterday as well, and they're hopefully going to vote on it in 2 weeks. We do have to have this done by the end of the year because the 911 plan sunsets by the end of the year. And if we do not have a sunset extension, which is included in this bill, we literally will not have the legal ability to operate 911.
Biden used 5-gallon cans to build it. It's back.
You're on mute, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that summary of the resolution. Are there any questions while we have Jordan here? Any questions? Okay, no questions. Okay.
Madam, hear me?
I'm sorry.
Ken Locke.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Quick question. If we approve this, when is the next time that you believe that there will be another required increase? Have you all budgeted that out or forecasted that out? Because I'm just saying, thinking like the average consumer, we look at our cell phone bills and these dimes and pennies. Now I'm understanding, what this, one of the pennies and one of the little small dollar amounts, but over, time that seems to keep increasing. But just wanting to know how this would, how you all have looked at this as far as long-term funding as a funding option.
So in this current bill in 5026, it puts the extension to, it puts the 911 sunset extension to December 31st, 2027. So we are, with this 1% increase and the 16 million, that right now, assuming everything comes in exactly as projected, and we are very comfortable that the expenses will remain as they have, that gets us out to 2027. So at that point, we will have to reevaluate. Now, just to comment on the increases going up. So the 42 cents that you pay in Wayne County on your cell phone bill, that is for our local surcharge, and that has been the same since 2008. So going to 2027, it will be almost 20 years that that surcharge has stayed exactly the same. And then the technical surcharge, which is on landlines, that has also been the same. And the prepaid, that has fluctuated again because it's not something that we are able to actually look at and say, okay, there are this many customers and it costs this much every time. Because a lot of prepaids aren't even monthly. They could go in and load up their phones for 6 months. And so they're paying that one fee maybe every 6 months. And it's also important to note that those who do have prepaid plans, they do not pay a local surcharge. So they're not paying into the Wayne County local 911. They only pay a state 911 fee because we don't have an address to actually match where their local fee should go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Jordan? Okay, this is again a resolution supporting the House Bill 5026. Of course, the House members will be the ones to pass this, but we in this resolution we are supporting that passage, but we're not the actual one, the body that actually passes it. Any other discussion? Is there a motion, Madam Chair? Okay, moved by
Support.
Commissioner Varga,
Support.
supported by
Maydoun.
Maydew. Okay, we will have a voice vote for this one as well. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
I'd like to abstain, Madam Chair. Marecki.
Okay. One abstention. All right.
Duly noted. Motion carries.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jordan, for your
Thank you.
very thorough explanation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Thank you, Commissioners, very much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Next item, please.
Item number 3 is a resolution by Commissioner Killeen proclaiming October 2021 as the Michigan Library Association Month and encouraging Michigan residents to continue or create a relationship with their local library.
Commissioner Killeen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As we all know, in our districts, libraries are central to all of our communities. I very much support libraries and librarians for the free flow of information for all of our citizens. Libraries have also stood in the breach against book banners, censors, and book burners who want to regulate what people can read. So it's appropriate, and I move this resolution for approval.
Support.
Moved and supported. We will do a voice vote for this as well. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion
Okay.
carries.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner. Next item, please.
We're moving to reports from committees. Report A is from the Committee on Economic Development. There are 3 items listed on pages 2 and 3 of the agenda.
Okay, Commissioner Jesus.
Thank you, Madam the Chair. I move for approval for all the 3 items. Can we put the addenda item for the Economic Development Committee on it too in one motion?
Support.
Madam Clerk, did you hear the request?
That's the new business item, Madam Chair. You want to take the new business item with the new,
Is that one in regards to,
The one on the agenda and the addenda too.
the debit cards is the agreement he's referring to.
oh,
Right.
let's take that separate, Commissioner Hayes, if
Okay.
that's okay.
Okay, I move for approval for all the 3 items.
Okay.
Support.
Been moved and supported for the Committee on Economic Development. Any discussion on these 3 items? Any discussion?
Where's the other one at? Okay,
There it is.
now. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Okay, hearing none, a roll call vote on these 3 items.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dodd,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Kenizic,
Yes.
Commissioner Morecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Doon,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
We're on Report B from the Committee on Public Services. There are 11 items listed on pages 3 through 6 of the agenda.
Okay, Commissioner Morecki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to receive and file number 1, move to receive and file number 1, and move to approve items 2 through 11.
Madam the Chair, if the Chair of the Public Service Committee allow me to be the motion maker for item 2.
Of course.
Okay, and then I see Commissioner Anderson's hand.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yes.
Madam Chair. Just had a quick question about number 5 on the agenda under this committee. I don't know if there's someone from the administration that can answer this, but I guess I'll wait, see if there is someone, because I wanted to ask a question pertaining to the design.
Commissioner Anderson, let me just make sure. Madam Clerk, did we get support for the
No, we
committee
did
report?
not.
Good morning. Good morning,
Support.
Steve Shea here.
No,
from
we did
Wayne
not.
County Road.
Okay, let's hold on. I'm sorry, hold on, please. I need someone to support Commissioner Morecki.
Madam
Okay,
Chair,
supported by Commissioner Varga. Okay, question from Commissioner Anderson. Commissioner Monique Baker McCormick, is it to that point?
to the point of item number 7, I wanted to be the motion maker.
Sure.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
fine. Okay, Commissioner Anderson, I think someone's trying to answer your question.
Okay, if they could identify themselves, who it is.
Good morning. This is Steve Shea, Wayne County Roads Division.
Yes, Mr. Shale. Hey, my question, it has to do with the designing the system, and I know this contract is for engineering and design services to design and provide engineering assistance during the letting of construction for 11 pump stations. And what I'm wondering is, and I not on that committee, but it probably was discussed at that time. Steve, I'm wondering, are we looking at increasing the capacity above and beyond what is currently happening with our pump stations? Because I know we all are acutely aware of the amount of rainfall that's happened and caused a lot of issues in the Wayne County area. And so just wondered if you know whether or not the design, did they start out with that as a premise or a starting point?
Thank you for that question, Commissioner Anderson. So just for FYI, Roads Division has started implementing our 7-year plan to rehab some of our pump stations throughout Wayne County. Part of the rehab is to include replacing pumps, motors, electrical units, and with hopes of getting our maximum allowable capacity, which is truly based on the inlet and outlet discharge pipes. So yes, they are looking at that right now, especially with added 11 pump houses that's over for the Honorable Commission today.
Okay, and it sounded like you, Steve, you touched on the generators, because I know that was an issue too, because we lost power in some pumping stations because of a break with the service from DTE. So are we looking, am I correct that we're looking at generators for those pumps?
So again, Commissioner Anderson, so we're also looking very, very heavily at expanding to include SCADA system, which stands for supervisory control and data acquisition. Basically, what that does is it remote control, be able to see what the pumps are doing and be able to make some changes, maybe changing the cycle of the pumps and seeing what's triggering the problems. In addition to that, sir, we are looking at built-in generators as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That answers the concerns and questions that I had. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Baydun?
Yeah, to that point, Steve, we discussed this in the Public Services Committee last week. I think it's imperative, it's essential that we have a built-in generator in these pumps, because if we don't have built-in generators, it's very highly likely that the power is going to go out, and then we're going to have a problem like we did back in June. So I hope this is the case. And on the capacity issue, my understanding, Steve, that some of these pumps, like the one in Dearborn and Greenfield, pumps like 1.8 inches of water per hour, and it's expected that we, according to the design or the discussion being held right now, that the capacity could be increased like to 3 or 3.5 inches per hour. Is that correct?
Correct. These are some of the things that we're going to be looking at, Commissioner Baydun. Our existing pumps right now, they average maybe 1,200 to 1,700 GPMs. So that's also being looked at when I said, well, we're going to need replacement pumps to include, like I said, to include the discharge capacity.
Yeah, and my understanding also from the meeting that each pump will be different than other areas, depending on the capacity and the type of slope or the water intake. And so there's other variables, right? It's not going to be like a standard pump per se, for the 41 pumps throughout Wayne County, correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any additional questions on the public services report?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Monique Baker McCormick?
Thank you. I actually want to or request to be the maker of the motion on item 10 as well, 7 and 10.
10.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, Commissioner Varga?
Madam Chair, I would like to be the maker of motion for the Detroit Salt Company and 3.
Okay,
Okay, duly noted. Any further discussion on the public services report?
Russell Ballant on Russ Ballant.
Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlaw,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes.
Motion carries, and I have Commissioner Hattis as the maker of the motion on 2, Commissioner Baker McCormick, 7 and 10, and Commissioner Varga, number 3.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item, please.
We're on report C from the Committee on Ways and Means on page 6. There are 3 items listed.
Okay, Commissioner Varga.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the Ways and Means Committee report.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. We have 2 receiving files and the approval of the parks carryover projects. Any discussion on the 3 items?
I'd like to be the maker of the motion on item 1.
Okay.
And that's for the chargebacks, Madam
For the
Commissioner?
Hamtramck Qualified Health Center.
It's not that one.
We're on the Ways and Means report for the.
Oh, I'm sorry, we haven't gotten down there yet.
That's
Okay.
what's up. You're moving too fast. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, on the Committee Ways and Means, We can do a voice vote on this one. All in favor of the report on Ways and Means, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain? Okay,
Motion
thank you.
carries.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
We're on report D from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There are 6 items listed on pages 6 through 9 of the agenda.
Okay, Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move approval of items 1 through 3 and 5 and 6, and move to receive and file item number 4.
Okay, now may I have?
Let's get, okay, supported by Commissioner Khalid and Commissioner Scott. You'd like to be the maker of the motion on number 3?
Was it 3 or?
Number
One.
1,
Number one.
Number one.
Okay.
Let's go back up to
Yeah.
number 1, please.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's the, okay.
Yeah.
That's QHC, okay, very good.
Right.
Any
Mhm.
questions on the Health and Human Services report? Commissioner Basham.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Item 5 is a retroactive, even though it's needed, even though I did a little research and I understand it, but I just don't want folks to think I'm just starting to approve retroactive contracts without doing my homework. So I'm going to reluctantly support item 5, but it is just to point out it is retroactive. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussion on the Health and Human Services report? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Khalid,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes.
Motion carries. And I have Commissioner Scott as the maker of the motion on item 1.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Next item, please.
We're on page 9 of the agenda, report E from the Committee on Audit. There is 1 item listed.
Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have 1 item to receive and file. I'd like to move it this time.
Okay.
Support.
Been moved and supported to receive and file the 1 item from the Committee on Audit. Any discussion on that item? Hearing none, we'll do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
All right, thank you so much. Next item, please.
We're on report F from the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. There are 7 items listed on pages 9 through 11 of the agenda.
Okay, Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move receiving file for item number 1 and approval for, I think, I can't see, so I don't know what's coming after that, but approval for.
Support.
5, 6.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, and approval for items 2 through 7.
Okay, support, please.
Okay. Been moved and supported the report on public safety. Are there any questions or discussion on the report? Any questions, discussion on the public safety report? Okay, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Khalid,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
I'd like to abstain on number 5 and vote yes on the rest, please.
duly noted. Commissioner Marecki,
I'd like to vote yes on items 1 through 6 and no on number 7.
Duly noted. Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Badun,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes.
Motion carries, and I have Commissioner Knizik abstaining on number 5 and Commissioner Marecki a no on item 7.
Okay. Next item, please.
We're on report G from the Committee on Government Operations. There are 16 items listed on pages 11 through 15 of the agenda.
Commissioner Dahl.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to take item number 3 first and move to open for a public hearing.
Okay.
Support.
Okay, move for a public hearing on item number 3. It's been moved and supported. Would like to, all in favor, open the public hearing, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
The public hearing now open for a couple of amendments on the Women's Commission ordinance. Council, you want to speak to what those amendments are?
Good morning, through the chair. So these amendments are to the Women's Commission, which will allow them additional flexibility with regards to their meetings.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. We're now open for a public hearing. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on the Women's Commission ordinance amendment? Okay.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move to close the public hearing for item number 3.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and support to close the public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain? Okay.
All right.
Commissioner Dodd.
Thank you. I would like to move items 1 and 2 for receive and file, and items 3 through 12 for approval.
Support.
And
Okay.
I do wish to invite Andy Kandrivas to speak on number 12. We had some questions in committee that weren't answered, and I'm hoping Andy's here. He did contact me and said he would speak to this item today.
Okay, Mr. Kandrivas.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm handling the issue on behalf of Brian Manning, who was on bereavement today and asked me to step in. The question, one of the outstanding questions regarding the Karub contract was just looking at the history of it, when this had been bid out. And I inquired of procurement. Procurement's records go back 12 years. They don't have a record of it at that time. So we can't speak to how far back, but it has been at least 12 years. You know, we will be working with procurement and Mr. Wagner to review the appropriate options for selecting the outside lobby services in the near future. So we just that's what I was able to discover.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Dobb.
That's all I had, Madam Chair.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. I see questions for discussion. Commissioner Anderson and Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Speaking to, I have a question about number 4. Just wanted to ask a quick question. Is there someone that could address that issue or that item?
Number
4. This is Tori Woods from the Department of Information Technology.
Okay, thank you. Just to be clear, is this a contract solely to keep JD Edwards and PeopleSoft operational due to the failure of the other contractors? Is that to keep us everything flowing and going as far as payroll and everything?
Yes, I believe this contract is for those same SaaS licenses that were previously being procured through Chair Rhodes.
All right, thank you. That's what I thought. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Commissioner Basham.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. On item number 12, first of all, my comments have to do with process. This career goes back to 40 years, and every time this comes in front of us, it's very important issues going on in Lansing, and they do a phenomenal job. And if we bid this out, probably Karub would probably be the company that would get the contract. But again, process, we're not doing our job if we continually, year after year, contract after contract, do not bid it out. So again, nothing against Karub, but I do have a problem with us not doing our jobs and not bidding contracts out for 40 years. Thank you. So I'll be a no vote on Karub. I hate just to send a message that even though I support Karub and probably would vote for him if they were the only one that turned in or the low qualified bidder, this process that we're doing of just continuing to not do our jobs, I have a problem with it. So thank you. I'll be a no vote.
Thank you, Commissioner Kinlock.
Yes, is there anyone present from the executive team that could actually explain why we don't bid this out, and when is the last time this lobbying service contract was bid out?
So, Madam
Andy,
Chair, yeah.
Andy just spoke to this.
yes.
Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, the answer is we have no information. I don't have information past 12 years, which is the record that procurement has currently on when this was last bid out. And we understand the concerns the commissioners have raised, including Commissioner Basham. We're going to work in the near future to figure out what our needs are and how we're going to go about working with procurement to select our lobbying services. But for right now, due to the pandemic and all that is happening, we'd like to keep our current vendor of Karub in place. So Commissioner Kinlock, we absolutely understand the need to look at this. Since Mr. Evans come into office, these lobby contracts have been in place with the exception of our federal lobbying contract, which we went out for an RFP for, I believe in 2015, which was Clark Hill was selected as our federal lobbyist.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And for the record, I understand the circumstances that we're currently in as far as COVID and needing some stability, especially with some of the critical issues that we have in Lansing. So I will be supporting this, but I'm glad Mr. Kandrevis recognizes that there is some underlying concerns. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you. To this same question of this contract, I don't believe the report that we receive currently indicates what issues they're working on Wayne County's behalf. And I would like to ask that report be modified to that it would also include something indicating what the issue is they're working on our behalf over the past month, and also who initiated that, whose request, whether it was the commission or whether it was the administration. And I would assume that most of it would be from the administration, but I think if we're approving this contract, that should be one of the provisions that's included in that in that report. I know the report comes through. It says, what's happening basically in Lansing, but it's not specific enough to say what they're doing for Wayne County.
Madam Chair, we'll work with the vendor to make sure that is included.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Dobb?
Yes, Madam Chair, I think I need to amend my motions. I think I missed items 13 through 16 when I moved for approval. So I would like to move items 1 through 2 for receive and file and 3 through 16 for approval.
Support.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Moved
you.
and supported the entire report as stated by Commissioner Dobb. Any further discussion on the items in the government operations report? Any further discussion? Commissioner Basham, see your hand?
Yes, just like I stated, I will, oops, I'm trying to look at the screen so I can tell you what I'm going to talk about here. I'm going to be a no on 12 and abstain on 13. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions or discussion on the items? Okay, hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes, with my comments.
I have you as a no on 12 and abstention on 13.
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Khalil,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlack,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Morecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
We're moving to report H from the Committee of the Whole. There are 2 items listed on pages 15 and 16 of the agenda.
Madam Chair, move approval.
Support.
Okay,
We have a
This-
public hearing scheduled, Madam Chair, for both
okay.
items.
All right, there are public hearings scheduled for both items. Can someone please open up the public hearing for?
Move
items?
that we open up the public hearings.
Support.
Moved and support, open up the public hearings for item 1 and item 2. Item 1 is they're both procurement ordinance. 1 is some general procurement ordinance, and number 2 is the responsible contracting procurement ordinance. All in favor, open up the public hearing, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? Okay, public hearing is now open for those 2 procurement ordinance items. Again, 1 is on responsible contracting, 1 is on an extension of dedicated authority. Is there anyone here? Is Michael Aaron here by any chance? Michael Aaron? Or Council Aaron from the Laborers Union to speak on the responsible contracting?
Talking about numbers, I do like this.
Okay, I don't see anyone here. One more time, public comments on the 2 items. Is there a motion to close public hearing?
So move.
Support.
Okay, moved and support to close the public hearing on the 2 ordinance amendments. Now I'll take a motion to approve them, then we'll have discussion, Commissioner Anderson. Motion to approve the items on the committee of the whole.
Move.
So move.
Kinlock.
Support.
Moved and support to support the items, discussion, Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just restate what I did in the committee of the whole, that I'm opposed to number 2 because it extends delegated authority for contract approval to the administration for what has always been historically the county commission's purview and responsibility. Thank you. So I'll be a no vote on number 2.
Thank you. Any further discussion on either of the items? We did have an in-depth conversation on both items in committee of the whole. The responsible contracting item is something that will benefit our residents, it'll benefit the county, it'll benefit the businesses who bid for our construction contracts. And then the other amendment to the ordinance with the delegated authority will just continue that practice for another 5 years. However, as you all know, all ordinances are subject to amendments at any time by this body. And if anything should go astray, we can certainly come back and amend those items. Hearing any discussion on,
Madam Chair, there was a motion to close the public hearing, but there was no vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the wrong topics. Okay, we had a motion to close the public hearing. All in favor of close the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Point of order.
Commissioner Kinlock.
Yeah, Madam Chair, so the motion that was made by Commissioner Baydun, is that still in order?
The motion to approve the items?
No, yes.
I thought you
or
made
does
that
he have
motion,
to-
sir. I thought
Okay.
Commissioner Kinlock made the motion.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so we still have the motion on the floor to approve the items of the committee of the whole. It's been moved and supported. We'll do a roll call vote on those two items. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes on 1 and no on 2.
duly noted. Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dodd,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes,
Motion carries. I have Commissioner Anderson as a no on item 2.
thank you. Next item.
We're on upcoming committee meetings.
Okay, these are the upcoming committee meetings. Please note, and if there are any changes, please let the clerk know. Madam Clerk, can we go to the addenda?
Yes, that's next. New business.
Okay, very good. New business on the addenda.
So we have 3 items listed on the first addenda and 2 on the second. Item number 1 on the first addenda is requesting commission approval of a 2-year legal services agreement with a 1-year option to renew between the Charter County of Wayne and Lewis and Monday.
Okay, is who's from the administration is here to speak to this item?
Good morning, Sue Hamud, Deputy Corporation Counsel.
Go ahead, Sue.
Good morning, Madam Chair. This is a contract for legal services to Lewis and Monday for the county to secure state revolving fund bonds for purposes of the storm sewer capacity project in Rouge Valley. It's a $45,000 contract with some state imposed deadlines in order for the county to be able to secure the bonds. So
Okay.
we're asking for commission approval.
Move approval.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve item number 1. Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dodd,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please. Actually, can we
Item-
take 2 and 3 together?
Item number 2. Item number 2 was the reappointment of Commissioner Clark Coleman to the Wayne County Land Bank. And item number 3 is to reappoint Mr. Norris Howard and Ms. Janella Jamison Robinson to the Wayne County Community Corrections Advisory Board.
Move for approval.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we do both of these items. Any discussion on the items, please? Any discussion on these appointments? And you did make that for 2 and 3, correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Any discussion on 2 and 3? Hearing none, I will do a voice vote for these 2 items. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. All right, next item, please.
We are on the second addenda. Item number 4 is requesting commission approval of amendment number 2 to a 2-year construction contract between the Charter County of Wayne and Scodella Construction with no change in dollar amount to extend the term of the contract.
Okay, is there someone from the administration to discuss this, please?
Morning, ma'am. Steve Shea here from Wayne County Roads. The reason that we're asking for this extension, Commission, is that this contract expires on the 17th, and we're requesting another month, I think up to November 30th, just so we can continue to reach our projected lane miles. Currently, we have completed 53.13 lane miles of crack sealing. That's part of our preventive maintenance plan in order to preserve our roadways. So we're about 30 plus lane miles away from our projected lane miles.
Okay, so this contract is no change in dollar amount, just change in the terms to add additional time to complete the project.
That is correct, ma'am.
Okay.
Madam the Chair, I move for approval.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Discussion, Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We got this item 9:30 this morning. And even though I may or may not be in favor of it, I think we need just a tad more time to look over some of these things and talking about our process again. So when we get a second addenda at 9:30 this morning in the email, it makes it difficult for us to do our job. So again, I hope Mr. Kandrevis is hearing us and some others that, you know, I'm not happy with this. I'll just leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And just for a little bit of background, these 2 items did come to us on Monday with a request if we could squeeze them on the agenda. As always, I have our council and our staff to review them. And if they are reviewed adequately, and if there are no issues, and if they're fine, I approve for them to come on the agenda. And that's what I did today as a favor, if you will, to the administration that did request it at the last minute. And again, we were able to have our policy staff and our council work, and they did work overtime to make sure that everything was correct and proper to be on the agenda today. But thank you for your comments. I do understand that.
And I appreciate your comments, but I have to jump back in on that. I am elected by a number of folks also, and even though you're the chair, I want to feel like I've done my job, and just because the chair agreed with it, and I really like the chair, I still have a responsibility to do my job and to read these also. So I don't want to be a rubber stamp, even though there's research done by the chair and her staff. You know, me and my staff need to look over things and vote also. So 9:30 this morning with the email, it's troubling. I'll just leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Item 1 item number 4 that we're voting on today is the extension of the term, not the dollar amount. And I think we had a motion and support. Roll call vote for that. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Oh, that's as much time as I had to look it over, but yes, this time.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
Item number 5 is requesting commission approval of a no-cost sole source payment services agreement between the Charter County of Wayne and Money Network Financial to create debit cards and mail payments to grantees for the county's flood and emergency rental assistance grant programs.
Move approval.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. And who is here to speak to this?
Wafa Denaro, Director, Economic Development.
Hello, Wafa, go ahead.
So this is for both, we'll be using this, this company for both the flood program and the rental assistance program for any tenant who is not applying, whose landlord isn't cooperative or isn't applying through their landlord. We will, they will be qualified for a set amount of money for rental arrears and utilities. We will send that amount to Money Network. They will make a debit card and mail it out to the individuals. The individuals will also receive 3 checks that they can use to pay their rent and utilities. The check, for every check that they use, they will have to call the 800 number that comes with the program. They will put a code at the top, and that money amount will be held so that they can't overdraw their account, or they, you know, the checks can't technically bounce. So this is a zero cost service. We've already received 240 plus applications for the emergency rental assistance. We're ready to process about 100, just under 100 of those applications. We're just waiting on approval so we can get that money out the door.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Anderson, questions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Wafa, I just had a quick question for you. What is coming out to pay for these? How much are we paying this company to do the cards? And also, is it going to affect in any way the amount or that the individual is receiving? Are they, is there not going to be any charges to them off their?
So there, if, so no, there's, this is a zero cost contract. We are not paying this company anything. They are also not getting any money from the individuals. If the individuals use the money as they should, as they agree to pay their rent and utilities, they should not incur any costs. The Money Network makes their money on the back end. So if you use this debit card at, say, Target or CVS or a gas station, those companies pay a credit card fee. So they pay like a 1.5% or 2%. And they would pay that to Money Network. There's also some other fees that are associated if they don't use the cards as intended.
Okay. If they don't use them as intended, should we not have a restriction on that?
We do. And they're signing a legal document that says they're going to be using this money for that they're going to be using this money for rent and utilities. I mean, they're signing a legal document that says they will use this money. But like with everything, we can't, you know, we can't control everything.
Right. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Any additional questions, Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Wafa, you said the company doesn't make anything on the front end, but on the back end, what is the possible amount that they would make on this?
So it really varies. Like I said, the company makes money from like the stores that have credit card machines. So they would make a certain percentage. There's a fee structure in the packet, and it lists out where they would make money on the back end. But we've negotiated the program, so so the individuals who are receiving these cards have it, if used properly, will not incur any fees. So the individuals should not incur any fees at all.
Okay, and again, what I'm trying to clarify is what the company would make off of the interest or whatever they make on the back end.
Yeah, they would make, you know, they're going to make, like I said, if they use the card with certain vendors, you know, they'll make that percentage. So, yeah, I mean, even some of the utility companies, if you use a credit card, will also get charged a certain percentage, but it's the utility company that's paying that percentage to the credit card company, not the individuals. So, I mean, to answer your question, I don't know. I don't have a number of what Money Network will end up making. And that's really why we brought this contract to commission, because it is technically a $0 contract, but there is the potential for them to make some money off of this contract.
Okay, and so we didn't have a RFP, or we didn't send one out on this?
There's no other
Okay.
companies that do this kind of work on this kind of scale.
Okay, so was there a RFP or no?
There was
Or
not.
yes or no? Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any additional questions, discussion? On item number 5, any question? Don't see any hands. Okay, hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you very much. Next item, please.
We're returning to page 17 of the agenda, testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 3 items listed.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any,
Aye.
any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion
Thank you.
carries.
All right, next item.
Memoriams, there is 1 name listed.
Okay, again, this is the aunt of Vice Chair Palomero. We want to just keep him and his family in our prayers during this difficult time. The services are as we speak. Is there anyone who'd like to add any additional names? Okay, let's take a moment. Uh-oh,
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, Madam Chair,
Hello?
yes. I would like to add the name of Bishop Bernard Toom, who recently passed. His services was held this past Saturday. And I absolutely would like to lay on the record the fact of the contributions to Pastor Toom, and his contributions specifically to the Church of God in Christ organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone like to add any additional names? Okay, hearing none, let's take a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Public comments.
Okay, thank you. You can unmute the phone. Everyone will have 1 minute to give public comments. And those of you who are on Zoom, just give your name for the record. Is everyone unmuted? Okay.
Yes, Chair, everyone has been unmuted.
Okay. Try raising your hand first so I can acknowledge you, and then we'll go from there. Lisa, you have 1 minute, ma'am?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name's Lisa Ponovas and I live in Wayne County. My daughter attends Riverview High School, but has yet been allowed to attend school this year because she cannot medically tolerate a mask. Her medical team wrote a mask exemption that the school is not accepting. The school requested a meeting with the MD and NP who wrote that letter, and still after the meeting are not letting her attend without wearing a mask or a face shield. My daughter has been seen by 2 different ENTs that both agree she needs surgeries for her breathing. My daughter has an IEP for her learning disabilities and needs to be in-person learning. Since when does the school get to say what's best for my daughter's health? Because of these mandates, the schools are on a power trip and not following my daughter's doctor's orders. The discrimination here for people with disabilities has went way too far. I beg you to please lift the mask mandates, or at the very least, make parents' choice for their children, whether they want to mask or not mask their kids.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Matthew?
Hi, yes, my name is Matthew Taylor. I'm a resident of Redford. And I would just like to, my comment is pretty short. I would just like to point the commissioners to Bill 82, the budget that was signed by the governor, and all the provisions in that budget that must be adhered to in order for the budget to actually carry to the county level. In that budget, in that bill, is the requirement that counties take back mask mandates for children, and that employers and the requirement for employers be struck down to have vaccination as a standard of employment, because when that's tied to the budget. And it's come to my attention that Governor Whitmer has decided to not penalize counties that do not adhere to those standards outlined in the budget. And that's on her end. That's for the voters on her end. But for you guys, for you commissioners, you're also responsible to the voters here. Please take a look at that, and that's what I would ask.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Bill?
Bill Strobridge, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep, I live in Wayne County, Canton, Michigan, actually. And I wanted to bring attention once again to the vaccine requirements that are being pushed down our throat, if you will. VAERS is a government agency that reports all of the adverse reactions to vaccines. And according to a recent Harvard study commissioned by our government, less than 1% of all these reactions are actually submitted. So when you look at data that says there are over 12,000 deaths related to COVID, and you look at data that says there are only less than 1,000 deaths each year from 1990 through 2019, only 1,000 deaths per year for all the vaccines. Doesn't that make you kind of wonder what's really going on and why this is continuing to be pushed? We really need our commissioners to stand up against the vaccine mandates if you just look at the data supplied by government organizations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. Or was that Bill? Thank you.
Bill.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Yep.
This is another Matthew with hands up, or the same Matthew needs to lower his hand?
This is a different Matthew.
Oh, different
Hello.
Matthew. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, my name is Matthew Reese. I'm a resident of Redford as well. I, similar to the previous Matthew, would like to direct you all to look at Senate Bill 82, which was signed by the governor, despite her comments saying that she somehow is going to not enforce this, which is kind of hypocritical, if you ask me. You signed the thing, but you're not going to enforce it. But again, as the previous gentleman stated, it's really important that you all take a look at the provisions there and enforce the law as written. That's what you agreed to do when you were sworn in, is uphold the Constitution of the United States, but also the laws as written. So I do ask that you look. There is a provision where there's a requirement to receive funds that you have to pass a vote, take a roll call vote on a non-binding resolution, whether you support the health department's emergency orders, including masking or really any other things for that matter. So I would urge you to do that quickly before our emergency and essential health services are stripped away. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Any other comments on Zoom? Are there any comments on the phone?
I don't know how to raise my hand.
Okay, go ahead. State your name for the record, please.
I'm not sure if she's talking to me.
Yes, I'm talking to you. The person said that they didn't know how to raise their hand. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. 1 minute this time, huh? This masking of our children continuing is absolutely illegal. And your compliance with this is wrong on so many levels, and you all know it. This is totally about nothing but money. It's always about money. I hope you can all live with your decisions to not hold up your oath to we, the people. That is why you're all in those seats, to hold up your constitutional oath to us.
Amen.
What you're doing to our children over dollars and cents is absolutely
Amen.
absurd. And you all know it's illegal to now to keep masking our children. So I suggest everyone rethink their oaths to the people and unmask all these children today. Thank you.
Okay, I don't think we got your name.
Sheila Morelli.
All right, thank you. Our next speaker, Amanda. Go ahead.
Hi, my question is, if us citizens don't get an option to follow which law we choose to, then I don't see where anybody else in the state, including you guys, get to break a law about masking our children that the governor has signed. Whether she decides to enforce it or not, it's still a law. And if you break the law, you are held accountable like every single one of our citizens. So I want to know, at what point do you guys feel that you are above the law to mask our children and to break a law that the governor signed? She's not above the law, neither are you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Madam Sherry?
Yes, hi, thank you. I just wanted to acknowledge my support of unmasking the children, whether there's a law or no law, the masking of these young children for no reason other than financial gain and control. And I just appeal to your human decency to remove the mask from our young children. And I just speak as an older citizen, and my kids are grown. I don't even have school-age kids, but my heart is broken by what is happening to our young people.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Okay. Madam Clerk, can you read any emails that you have?
Yes, I have a few. So this is from Richard Luzenow. Are you aware that according to Senate Bill 82 that was signed into effect by Governor Whitmer October 1st, that it is now illegal for health departments to mandate masks on children under 18? If the Wayne County Public Health Division chooses to oppose their unnecessary mask mandate for schools, they now jeopardize losing all state funding, and we, the people of Wayne County, will lose critical services if our state funding is cut off. We are asking that you rescind the mask mandate in our schools and protect our state funding. Debbie Luzenow. This email is the same email from several people: Nicole Reed, Kristen Quasar, Danielle Lumen, Valerie Cherry, and Billy Ballinger, all sent in the same email, and it reads as follows. I am a Wayne County resident who is highly concerned that the county will lose essential funding if it does not immediately rescind its emergency order requiring masks in schools. As of 11:59 p.m. last night, Berrien County rescinded its order. A copy of the press release has been emailed to every commissioner. From the press release, the decision comes Wednesday on the heels of Governor Whitmer signing the 2022 state budget to avoid a loss of funding for essential local public health services threatened in language included in Senate Bill 82, House Bill 4400. According to boilerplate language included in these bills, any health department that has issued an emergency order in attempt to combat COVID-19, including enacting or enforcing an order requiring masks by anyone in a school setting, will be negatively impacted financially. Although Governor Whitmer stated that this language was unconstitutional, Berrien County legal counselors have advised it stands until proven otherwise. The next email is from Kim Harpenow. Good afternoon. In light of the new budget signed by Governor Whitmer, I am concerned about the county losing funding with its current mandates in effect. When will you be discussing and looking at the order? Furthermore, when will you be addressing us residents with your decision? We all agree that our children's health should be priority, but the county losing funding is dangerous to our residents. I am asking you rescind your order, allow parents to make decisions for the health of their children, and save the funding for the county. This is not just a comment. I am asking for a response to my above question, please. Thank you, Dr. Kimberly Harpenow. This next email is from Kathleen Slack. We as Wayne County citizens demand to know why mask mandates have not been lifted. Governor Whitmer signed the budget. Wayne County needs rescind the order and stop this insanity. Enough is enough already. Stop dictating ridiculous mandates and get back in your lane. Allow parents to parent. Kathleen Slack. The next email is from Daniela Cantos. We do not want mask mandated. It's against our constitutional right and against the law. If you're not for the law, please resign. I do not want my child's immune system to decrease and her getting sick with these masks. Please put your backing to I-Wave air treatment filters to all schools and listen to industrial hygienists. Thank you. Next, good morning, Board of Commissioners. As a born citizen of Wayne County, I want to thank each of you who have stood up with the people and have heard our concerns over these past months. I think we can all agree if we've listened to even one of these past meetings, we have heard common concern of the people, the ones in whom elected each of you. I want to remind those who are not upholding their elected position that another will be elected in 2022 to take your place. We, the people, will not stand for any elected official who does not represent our voices. Again, thank you to those of you who are hearing us, who are standing with us, as this is a time of unity and to rise up against any form of tyranny. Tyranny, by definition, is an unjust or oppressive governmental power. Maybe you ask what possibly has been unjust or oppressive. Well, let's look at one item: mask mandates on our children. The science has already been shown that one, that was from Samantha Surwick. This next one is from Beverly Woodbeck. Ladies and gentlemen, we need people like you to stand against medical apartheid and to oppose segregating society. I ask you, if we lose the right to choose what is injected into our own body and the bodies of our children, then are we even free anymore? To protect Wayne County families, I ask that the Board of Commissioners adopt an ordinance to protect medical freedom, prohibit retaliation, and ensure equal access without regard to vaccination status. We need strong constitutional leaders who will defend our civil liberties. We need you to choose us. Thank you. This next email, good morning. I'm still waiting for the Wayne County Health Director and schools to provide parents with science-backed evidence for why masks are required. A true scientist would test air quality in the schools and workplaces to determine if it is safe to breathe. He or she would not muzzle citizens and students on a whim. I would wager a toxicologist could test the air inside a food, spit, and snot-filled mask that fits snugly against a child's face all day, catching every exhalation of CO2 and scientifically determine its toxicity level. And I doubt it would pass, but let's leave guessing aside and perform real science tests. Secondly, please watch a documentary, Not Alone. Our children are suffering mentally, and the real pandemic is mental health. Free our kids, our families from tyranny. That was from, no, here's another one. Free our kids, our families, and workers from tyranny. Anyone silent is complicit. Do something now. Let children learn in person, free from face muzzles. No masks, no vaccines, no PCR tests, no quarantines. There's only one reason for muzzling the kids and all the protocols, COVID dollars to the schools. In the end, it's really all about money and power. We do not co-parent with the government. Thank you for your time. Shannon Seiko. That was the last one, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Reconsiderations.
Reconsiderations. Any commissioners have any reconsiderations? Hearing none. Next item.
Remarks by members.
Remarks by members. Any commissioners have any remarks?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Let me go to Commissioner Clark Coleman, then Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to notify our fellow commissioners that I received a call from Tony Guerrero. We all know Tony. We all know and love Tony Guerrero. And he indicated that he was just released from the hospital last night after a week of inpatient. He called and let me know he would be at the meeting today. And so I just would like to let you know that he has been suffering. I mean, he's been having a health challenge. So we need to all keep Tony in our prayers.
Thank you, Commissioner. We will do that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Wayne County Commission Youth Council meeting will be held tonight, the first session of this year. So I wanted to invite the commissioners and anyone else who would like to attend the first meeting this year. I would like to introduce the commissioners in the meeting as well. Today, this evening at 6 p.m. If you need the link information, I can send that to you, but you should have received the link already. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other remarks by commissioners? Looking, remarks by commissioners. No, looking. All righty. I will make one remark. There's a beautiful mural being painted on the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. I was contacted by a colleague of ours in the Houston area, Harris County. An artist had done a fabulous mural down there, and he's going around the country, funded by the Kellogg Foundation, bringing awareness to childhood hunger. And after months, I would say literally months of working with different entities, he is finally starting that mural, and it's going to be beautiful. And again, it's going to be on the Gratiot side of the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. It should be completed by next week. And right now I'm planning to have an unveiling when it is complete. Now let everyone aware when that happens so that we can see the beautiful mural again to bring awareness to childhood hunger. All right. Any other remarks by members? Hearing none, seeing none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Madam Chair.
All right. Been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.